Good evening and welcome to Unity Spiritual Center Denver. This is our monthly contemplative service. We do a service like this on the first Wednesday of every month. And I'm so happy that you chose to join us tonight. If you're new to Unity Spiritual Center Denver, I just want to share with you that we are a loving, open, welcoming, affirming community. We celebrate you wherever you are on your spiritual journey and in your life path. So we welcome you to be a part of our community, virtually, of course, now, and certainly when we begin to join together again in person, we would love to have you come and join us if you're here in the Denver area. So again, welcome to our service tonight. The contemplative service is a time for us to kind of stop and relax and breathe. There will be times of singing. You're welcome to sing along with me if you know the songs that I'll be singing tonight, wherever you are. And there'll be times of just quiet. I'll be doing some guided meditation and inviting you to take time in the silence and just sitting with your own spirit and being. And so as we begin tonight, I want to light this candle, called the Christ candle. We light it in honor of recognition of the Christ light in all of us, the light of the divine that lives in and through and as each of us. We celebrate that in unity, that we are all that divine light, and we call that light and that life the Christ. And so as we begin, I invite you, wherever you are, if you're in a place where it's comfortable for you to do so, I invite you to close your eyes and take a deep breath. And allow that breath to invite your body to relax just a bit. You may even want to roll your shoulders or roll your neck to release any tension that might be present in your body. And just breathe into your body. Isn't it amazing how we move about in our days, the activities of our days, and we so often forget to stop and just breathe consciously and to touch base with our bodies and to find out what's going on there in our bodies. The body holds such great wisdom, and it holds energy. And when we bring our attention and our awareness to the body, we can learn a great deal about what's going on with us if we have tension somewhere, or holding energy somewhere in our bodies. So just take a moment and connect with your body. Feel that chair or whatever is supporting your body. Feel yourself grounded and supported. Feel your feet against the floor wherever you are. Maybe you're not touching the floor, but feel yourself grounded to Mother Earth as you breathe in. And just notice. Become aware of what's happening in this energy field of the body. And know as you bring attention and awareness to the body, you're blessing the body with your attention. And you're loving your body with your attention. And you might even notice the body having some reaction to that attention and that awareness. Maybe it is relaxing just a little bit. So just notice. I invite you to become aware of your thinking, the thoughts that are moving through your mind. Just notice that they rise and they fall and they rise and they fall, and they don't hang around unless you give them attention. So just be aware of the thoughts without resisting, without trying to control anything. Just be that which is aware of thinking. Be that which is the awareness, awakening to body and to thinking. And I invite you to bring your attention to your emotions. What's moving in there now? What's moving? Again, just notice this energy of emotion is flowing, always moving, always changing, always just moving and flowing until we stop and grab onto it and give it attention, give it focus. So don't resist, just allow it to be there. Notice it, become aware of it. Don't resist it, don't judge it. Just allow it to be. Allow everything to be just as it is. Perfect just as it is. And notice that you are aware of body, of thought, of emotion. You are the one that is aware, not defined or limited by any of it. You are the awareness that is consciously awakening to being aware. So just breathe into that for a moment, relaxing into that just for a moment. Inviting awareness to move and to flow wherever it will. And just be. Just be still and be for just a moment. Remembering to breathe. Allowing presence to arise. Being the presence, practicing the presence of divine attention and awareness in this moment. Now take a breath, breathing back into this awareness of the body. Feel the chair supporting you. Feel the clothing that's touching your body. You may feel the temperature of the air as it touches your skin. Just being present in the moment as we come together in this time, knowing that truly there is no separation, even though we are in different locations physically, that we are together in this consciousness of unity and oneness, this consciousness that we are one in the Spirit, as the Spirit of life, living itself as each of us, uniquely, perfectly, wondrously alive, as each of us in this moment. And we are a part of all of it. So we celebrate that. I celebrate my connection with you, even though I can't see your face right now. I can feel your energy as I open up to that. And so I invite you to do that as well. Feel all of the people who are watching this service tonight and participating, not just watching, but participating and feeling and sensing into the energy that is moving and living itself as this moment in its fullness in this moment. And so I want to begin tonight with a chant. It's called Living Christ. And it was written by a friend, Brother Chising Ing, who was the founder of the Dallas Meditation Center many years ago. And Brother Chising made his transition a few years ago. But his spirit, his life, his influence lives on in so many ways in the hearts and minds of those people that he touched through his teaching, through his Dharma talks, through his meditations, through his facilitation of energy. And so I wanted to share this song tonight. It just spoke to me as I was thinking through the service. So, living Christ, light of God, deep within, near and far. Living Christ, love of God, deep within my heart. Living Christ, light of God, shining near and far. Living Christ, love of God, deep within my heart. Living Christ, Word of God, wisdom of eternity. Oh, living Christ, love of God, in everyone, in everything. Living Christ, light of God, shining near and far. Living Christ, love of God, deep within my heart. And as I said earlier, I think I said anyway, that in unity we believe that only begotten, the Christ, the living light and love and power of the divine God, universe source, creator, whatever word works for you, resonates with you. It is that emanation for all creation, the first emanation, the Word, maybe another word for that. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God, and the Word became flesh. And that Word sometimes we think of as the Christ. That was the foundation and is the foundation for all creation and lives within each of us. And the wonderful thing about being conscious human beings is that we have the opportunity to awaken to that light and that life, living in us and through us and as us. And so that is what we believe that our teacher and our way shower, Jesus of Nazareth, Jesus the Christ, exampled for us and taught us that we too have the potential and the possibility of awakening to that divine self, true self, higher self, Christ light, known by many names. And that is our divine opportunity in every moment. So I wanted to share with you a prayer. It's a Gaelic prayer, and I understand that the author is really unknown, but it's an ancient prayer, and it speaks to me about that idea of the Christ, that light that lives within us. And I've used this prayer many times and repeated it many times, and sometimes even as I'm meditating or beginning my meditation, I will use this prayer. And it's quite meaningful for me, so I just wanted to share it with you tonight. And I may read it a couple of times. And I want to say before I share it that what we understand in unity of prayer is not praying to some external being, some deity or anything outside of ourselves. But when we're praying, we are consciously connecting and calling forth that divine that is within us. And prayer is a way for us to breathe into that, to align our thinking and our minds and our hearts with that divine essence that lives as each of us. So this is the prayer, the Gaelic prayer. O Christ, thou Son of God, my own eternal self, Live thou thy life in me. Do thou thy will in me. Be thou made flesh in me. I have no will but thine. I have no self but thee. O Christ, thou Son of God, my own eternal self. So I'm going to read that again, and I invite you to listen to that as a call from your human self, maybe your ego self. Sometimes we call it the false self. I'm not sure about those names, but whatever. It's the personality self. Calling to that inner self of the Christ to be born in me. There's a beautiful song we sometimes sing at Christmas called Be Born in Me. And I think that's what this prayer is talking about. Be born in my consciousness. Be born in my life. Let me step back and let the Christ have its life in me, through me, as my words, as my thinking, as my actions. And so I invite you to hear the words as yourself, personality self, calling deeply to that Christ within. O Christ, thou Son of God. Son doesn't work for you. Say, thou expression of God, thou life of God. My own eternal self. Live thou thy life in me. Do thou thy will in me. Be thou made flesh in me. I have no will but thine. I have no self but thee. O Christ, thou Son of God, my own eternal self. I hope those words resonate with you on some level. I know they're very somehow archaic and somehow may speak of traditional Christian theology in some ways, but I hope you can listen to that and hear that. Feel the energy of that calling forth, really surrendering to that life of the divine that I believe is always seeking its greatest expression, urging us to our greatest evolution of consciousness and our greatest expression of that consciousness for ourselves, for each other, for the planet, for the world. And so let's take a moment and take that in through meditation. So again, I want to invite you to close your eyes. Again, if you're in a place where it's safe and comfortable for you to do that. And take a breath. And I invite you to allow that breath to bring your awareness from the outer to the inner. No longer focusing on the things of the world, but when we close our eyes, it's symbolic of, in some ways, closing out the world of effect from our consciousness for a moment, for a time, and opening up to the awareness of the inner life, the true life, the light of the Christ that is living itself in us and through us and as us this very moment. I like to think of it as this spark that is always shining, always glowing. And when we bring our breath to it, when we bring our attention to it, that flame grows. And so I invite you to imagine now breathing your awareness into the depth of your being and coming into conscious awareness of that flame of the Christ light. And as you breathe in, allow the breath to fan the flame of that awareness. And see that flame expanding and growing, burning. It's a flame within your heart, within your soul. And feel that energy. And allow that energy to continue to expand so that that energy fills up your entire physical body. See this energy field of your physical body glowing with this light. In truth, your physical body is a body of energy. It is a body of light. Light is the source. Light is the first emanation. Light is the source of all. Light imbues all creation. Light imbues every cell of your body is light. So see every cell of your body now coming alive in the remembrance of its truth as light. Light expressing, light living, light growing, light returning unto light. Light being ignited by your remembrance and your willingness to remember that you are the Christ. And it is in that remembrance that we truly claim that we are the Christ made flesh, the Christ of God made flesh in these bodies. Yes, you are the body of Christ, the embodiment of the energy and the life and the consciousness of Christ. And as we choose to remember, as we choose to bring our awareness and our attention to that light reignites within us. And so now see that light continuing to expand out from the physical body. See it reaching out into your mind, that mental realm, the realm of thought. Somewhere out here, see that light extending out into the realm of thought. And that light attuning, aligning, transmuting any thought of lack or limitation or any thought of separation, any thought that you might be anything other than this Christ light expressing. The light is the source of the remembrance. The light is the source of the healing, so to speak, of coming back into the flow of light. See that light now extending out to touch those within your personal sphere, your family, your friends, your co-workers. Sharing that light, lighting, ignite light. Imagine that flame within you shining out onto someone else and igniting, reigniting, remembering that flame within them sharing your light with love and compassion. And then see that light extending out to all the city, all people in the city, and then the state, and the country, and the continent, and all over the globe. Sharing your light with all of humanity. And as we take just a short time in the silence now, I invite you to just see where your awareness is guided to share that light with a person, with a group of people. Whatever, trust your own guidance. And just freely sharing that light with those to whom you are called. As we go into silence, keep breathing, keep fanning the flame. If you know me at all, and you probably, some of you do, maybe some of you don't, you know I grew up in traditional Christianity, mostly in the Southern Baptist tradition. So quite often when I am in meditation or prayer, words to hymns start singing themselves in my head. And this week as I was meditating, thinking about this idea of allowing that Christ life to have its life, it came to me to practice surrender, to really focus on surrendering my own thoughts of limitation and lack and ego attachments. And so this song, I Surrender All, I sing a little bit different verbiage, lyrics. But if you know it and you want to sing along with me, please feel free. Oh, to Spirit, I surrender. All I am, I freely give. I will ever love and trust in the Holy Spirit, daily live. I surrender all. I surrender all to Thee, O loving Spirit. I surrender all to Thee, O loving Spirit. going to have an altar call, just in case you were wondering. So the next reading I want to share with you comes from Robert Brummett's book, Finding Yourself in Transition. We did a study of this book a while back and did a series of Sunday lessons based on the book. And I returned to the book this week as I was thinking about what to share tonight. And he says, Stephen Levine, a teacher of meditation, writes, if you are trying to be someone doing something, controlling the flow, then when that which is uncontrollable approaches, your resistance becomes greater and your suffering more intense. As you let go of control, you see, quote, acceptance is magic. Indeed, we do discover that, quote, acceptance is magic. Surrendering to the flow of life, the divine plan, we eventually find a new sense of peace and a new source of power. We experience the dance of life unfolding with less grasping and attachment and less suffering. Gradually, we begin to see that we are not living our life, but rather that our life is being lived through us. Life then takes on a flow, a rhythm, a synchronicity. With little effort, much is accomplished. Some would describe this as living the Tao. For in the Tao Te Ching it is written, the Tao of heaven does not strive, and yet it overcomes. It does not speak, and yet is answered. It does not ask, yet is supplied with all it needs. It seems at ease, and yet it follows a plan. I love that idea of being in the flow of life and coming to the awareness that I am not living life, but life is living itself through me. In that place of surrender, where we truly are willing, this idea of let go and let God, or let go and let life. And I don't know about you, but very often I find myself trying to control everything, trying to push the flow. I was in the mountains this week, and I had the opportunity several times just to sit by the river or by a stream and just watch the water flowing. And I love it when nature teaches me lessons. And just reminding me, just get in the flow and let life live itself in you and through you and as you. So it was a great reminder. And so the best way I know how to get into the flow when I'm not in the flow is to stop and breathe and check in and allow the breath to remind me of that constant flow of life. That life is breathing me. Life is beating my heart. I don't have to think about it. There's nothing I have to consciously do to allow breath to happen naturally. There is nothing I have to think about to make my heart beat. Well, maybe eating right and exercising on a continuing basis. I don't have to think about it. We don't have to think about it. Because life is living us in that way. Can we open our minds and our hearts to that same flow of life and just allow life to live itself without trying to control it, without resisting it, but just being in the flow of it. So, I don't want to say I'm working on it because that would be kind of counterproductive. I am being present with that. So I invite you to do that with me. Let's just take a moment again as we close our eyes and again take a conscious breath. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Just relaxing into the flow of breath. Now just let breath happen naturally. Notice as you relax how air floods in your lungs. And then you relax again and breath is exhaled. Become aware of something deeper beyond the breath, of the energy that is moving as breath. Drop behind the breath with your awareness and your attention, and become aware of the life, the pulse of life that is breathing you. It's the same life that truly breathes as the planet expands and contracts. Imagine the planet Earth expanding and contracting, constantly being lived. The same life that lives as Mother Earth, the same life that expands and contracts as the planet expands and contracts as life in you. A microcosm of the macrocosm that is the universe. Right here, living, expressing in you and in me. That same energy breathes all of us. Same life lives through us, in us, as us, regardless of our age, regardless of what body we're in, regardless of the color of our skin, regardless of our gender or gender orientation, regardless of our sexuality, regardless of our religion, regardless of our nationality, regardless of any idea that we have we might choose to define us or separate us. It is that one life, that one love, that one energy living itself in us and through us and as us at every moment, in every breath and every heartbeat. And we surrender into that life as we allow ourselves to be carried by that life, to be lived by that life, to be inspired by that life, to allow that life to have its life in us, through us, as us. As St. Paul said, it is the life in which we live and move and have our being, and it is also the life that lives and moves and has its being as you and as me. And so with the breath, we are reminded of that life. And every breath is our opportunity to surrender into that life. And so we breathe. And we breathe. and we are breathed. As we go into the silence, just focus on the breath and the life behind the breath. Those of you who grew up in traditional Christianity may know from the introduction what this song is. It's another hymn from my former days. And again, sometimes we hear the words and it speaks to us of some embedded theology, and I know I've been triggered by that many times myself. So the song is called Have Thine Own Way, Lord. And the word Lord sometimes is a trigger. So I want to say, when we talk about Lord in New Thought, we're talking about that inner Christ, sometimes called the self-existent one. And so as I've been talking about all evening, it's about calling forth and allowing that self to have its life in us. And so this song, Have Thine Own Way, Lord, is a call for that in my way of thinking. Have Thine Own way, Lord, have Thine own way. Thou art the potter, I am the clay. Mold me and make me after Thy will, while I am waiting, yielded and still. Have Thine own way, Lord, have Thine own way. Wounded and weary, help me, I pray. Power, all power, surely is Thine. Touch me and heal me, Spirit divine. Have Thine own way, Lord, have Thine own way. Hold o'er my being absolute sway. Fill with Thy Spirit till all shall see Christ only always living in me. Thank you for indulging me with that. As I sang that, I thought I probably would have changed that last lyric to living as me rather than living in me. So if I ever sing it again, I may do that. So the last reading I want to share with you tonight comes from Father Richard Rohr, a little book called Just This, a collection of some of his writings from different books. And this is called From Ego Consciousness to Soul Awareness. When you meditate consistently, a sense of your autonomy and private self-importance, what you think of as yourself, falls away little by little, as unnecessary, unimportant, and even unhelpful. The imperial I, the self that you likely think of as your only self, reveals itself as largely a creation of your mind. Through regular access to contemplation, you become less and less interested in protecting this self-created relative identity. You don't have to attack it. It calmly falls away of its own accord, and you experience a kind of natural humility. If your prayer goes deep, invading your unconscious, as it were, your whole view of the world will change from fear to connection, because you don't live inside your fragile and encapsulated self anymore, nor do you need to protect it. In meditation, you move from ego consciousness to soul awareness, from being fear-driven to being love-drawn. I love that. To being fear-driven to being love-drawn. That's it in a few words. Of course, you can only do this if someone else, capital someone else, is holding you, taking away your fear, doing the knowing, and satisfying your desire for a great lover. In caps. If you can allow that someone else to have their way with you, you will live with new vitality, a natural gracefulness, and inside a flow that you did not create. It is the life of the Trinity spinning through you. So I don't want to just take a few minutes with that. I'm not even aware of what time it is, so I don't want to go too long. But, okay, now I know. So I want to take a few minutes to just be in the silence. As Father Rohr said, it's so important for us to go deep into our spirit. And what we call prayer is sometimes, it can be contemplation, it can be affirmation, it can be meditation. It's all a part of the same idea. But it's about going deep, going into your secret chamber, as Scripture tells us, closing the door and communing with the divine within us. And so, rather than me talking anymore, let's just take an opportunity to have maybe a little more extended time, just breathing and being with ourselves and entering into the silence of our own hearts and having our own communion experience. So breathe into the silence. When I pray, I feel my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. When I pray, I feel my soul go deeper, my soul go deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my soul go deeper, my soul go deeper into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. So right here and right now, we open ourselves up and we allow our awareness, our hearts, our souls to go deeper into the awareness of that life that is living itself through all creation, that life that lives itself through each of us, that life that is the source of all that is. And as we center our awareness, allowing ourselves to go deeper, surrendering into that life, we claim that life as our own life. We allow that life to have its life as our life. And we let go and allow the flow. And so as we claim that for ourselves, we feel it, we radiate it, we resonate with it, we embody that life. And as we claim it for ourselves, we claim it for each other. I claim it now for each and every one of you who is here with me tonight. I claim it for you. I see you connected in that light and connected in that energy, receiving it, accepting it, and allowing it. And so I invite you to bring to mind any one, a person, a place, a situation, a group of people that you would like to hold, to uplift in this consciousness. And so together we do hold each one of those people. We hold each one in our hearts and our minds. We hold all of those who are suffering from any dis-ease or imbalance or illness of body, mind, or spirit. We hold and uplift all of those who are suffering under oppression of any kind, of discrimination, of hate, of abuse. And we hold them up in the light of that truth. And we call forth from ourselves and from each other and from the world that which is needed to heal and to bring balance and harmony and order, peace and justice to the world. And we are grateful. We're grateful for our willingness. We're grateful for our acceptance and allowing. And we're grateful for our willingness to step out and do what is ours to do as the eyes and the mouth and the ears and the hands and the feet of the divine. We know it is our truth. We know it is so as we allow it and accept it to be. And so it is. Amen. Thank you again for tonight. Thank you for being here, joining me and Martha and Jay in the sound booth tonight. We'd love to have you here with us at some point in person. Hopefully that will happen sooner than later, but we shall see about that. I want to end tonight with a song by a good friend of mine, has become a good friend, Denise Rosier. Many of you know Denise. This song is called Vessel. And I just love the message of the song, and I want to share it with you tonight, and hopefully I will not botch it too badly. My love. Can we start over? Love is a river. That's it. My love is a river overflowing. My soul is a fire with embers glowing. I am the essence of divine expression. I am a vessel of God. I am a vessel of God. My hands reach down to the meek and the helpless. My legs stand up for the ones without voices. I march to the beat of a servant's heart. I am a vessel of God. I am a vessel of God. My words speak of comfort and acceptance. My actions spring from a place of wholeness. My light shines on and on. I am a vessel of God. I am a vessel of God. I am a vessel of God. Fill me with your spirit. Fill me with your spirit. Fill me with your goodness. Fill me with that power. Fill me with that love. Fill me with that spirit. Fill me with that goodness. Fill me with that power. Fill me with that love. Fill me with that spirit. Fill me with that goodness. Fill me with that power. Fill me with that light. Fill me with that goodness. Fill me with that power. Fill me with that spirit. Fill me with that love. Fill me with that goodness. Fill me with that power. Fill me with that love. Fill me with that light. I am a vessel for God. I am a vessel for God. Beautiful song, Denise. If you're listening, I apologize for messing up your song. But thank you for writing it, and I will promise to do better next time. So, but I love the message of the song. And again, if you're not familiar with Denise Rosier, please look her up. She has some beautiful music, deniserosier.com. And hopefully she'll be back with us soon. So again, thank you for this evening. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for being present. And thank you for being the presence in your own life, in the life of those whose lives you touch day after day. So I invite us to go out into the world in whatever way we can in this time of social distancing and be the light, be the Christ, and see that light shining in each other. Namaste.